I don't think his punches had enough sting to keep Derek off.
I don't think he's got enough pop.
It's another great night for Chisora, wasn't it? I love that he's just standing in the middle of the ring in his boxies.
He was the aggressor. He's the one getting more punches.
And the TalkSport lads didn't have a clue what was going on.
Here's a guy who's lost 13 fights, but he still sells out.
Where does he go next?
I wouldn't do Usyk and I wouldn't do AJ.
Against someone like Dubois?
That's a better fight. Okay, welcome back to Boxcast. In this episode, we're going to be looking back at the fight between Derek Chisora and Otto Wallin, which took place yesterday. I think I haven't grinned so much at a result for a long, long time. And, well, I think I could have seen the result, but the way he got the result for Mr. Chisora was...
You chose Wallin to win.
Yeah, it was epic.
You disgraceful man.
Performance. I think I only did that because you picked Chisora. So it's just to balance it out. Well, we can start from that. Do you think Otto Wallin was disappointing, or do you think Delboy was just that good?
Otto Wallin didn't know what to do with him. Yeah. He's never faced anyone like
that just
Derek
keeps
Chisora.
Coming forward. Problem
with Otto Wallin is I don't think his punches had enough sting to keep Derek off.
Yeah.
He is a good boxer, Otto Wallin, but he just has. I don't think he's
got enough pop. And
he most probably has in his big shot, but his jabs. It's not going to keep Chisora off.
I think Chisora's jab was better, which I didn't expect. But
look, you know what you're going to get with Chisora. He's going to put his head down and he's going to wing in that big overhand right, big overhand left, body punches.
Well, what impressed me was, and it surprised me a bit more, was his defense. Because he was actually, I mean, yeah, he got tired near the end, so he got hit a bit. But in the first, up to about 8th rounds or so, when he hadn't gassed out a bit, he was, like, he didn't really get hit that much. He was, I mean, he got the headbutt, isn't it?
He's always had a lot of head movement. And he does that.
But he's still like
cross-arm defense.
He's usually predictable. Whereas here, I don't know whether that's again is Wallin didn't adjust, but he was really good at getting within reach, because Wallin was obviously the tactic of reaching out the jab and using his height and his reach advantage, and he seemed to get in whenever he wanted.
What we seem to forget is, although Derek Chisora is 41, he's been in with the best.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing, but it's not his normal way of performing. And I was looking at yesterday's performance, I thought that's like a seasoned professional performance, which sounds stupid to say you're surprised when a guy's had 49 fights and he's not a seasoned professional, but it's not like in his last few fights he'd been good, but before that's he'd just go forward and he'd take a hit to get a hit. Here he was like absorbing the jab, but he was like not like taking the full brunt and then putting the right hand over the top.
What I gathered,
he was getting the better of the exchanges.
From what I gathered is he was hoping Wallin was going to gas out.
Yeah, he said that at the...
So letting Wallin get punches off and then hoping he gasses out, which he didn't. I think...
I was nearly crying when they stopped to look at his eyes.
Yeah. I think in the second round, Delboy's ears both popped. So I think that might have worried him a little bit, so that's why he stuck to, I can't get it too much.
Yeah.
And then the cuts, which obviously once you stop a fight and the doctors have a look, you've got to be more careful. So we did go into, I'd say, protecting himself mode. But Derek Chisora's...
But it was still the same style.
Protecting mode is completely different to everyone else's.
Yeah.
Like I say, you know what you're going to get with him. He's going to come forward. He's never going to stop. You look like you're going to knock him out, and then all of a sudden, bang, you've been caught. And he's a big, powerful man.
Well, I think Wallin was just starting to get into the fight, and then he popped him and knocked him down. And that's when it was just sort of, because obviously he'd slowed down a bit because of the not the 8th, by 9th round, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
like
the
8th and 9th, he was getting back into it, wasn't he? And the 9th round, when he got knocked down first, Wallin looked like Wallin might be starting to, because he looked like he was tired and the eye was having an effect.
Yeah.
And then he just popped him and then he went back again.
I think that the ninth, Derek threw everything at him after that knockdown as well.
Yeah,
and that tired him, because I think the last 30 seconds, Wallin...
Because 10th round, he was having a breather.
Yeah. And then to get the knockdown, like 5 seconds to go with the 12 was...
That was just epic.
Superb. I had Chisora miles ahead on the card as well, to be honest.
I'm just going to... I do have an issue. Right. 117, 109. Yeah, I can see that. 116, 110. Yeah, I can see that. 114, 112, which basically means it was a draw apart from the 2 knockdowns.
Yeah. Again, look, how many times have we had arguments over judges? Everything's opinionated. You go for... Wallin, I'd say, landed more punches through the whole of the fight.
Well, I was trying to get the...
But Chisora landed the heavier
punches.
The
more effective punches. So, I wouldn't even have thought that, though. I think, yeah, if you balanced it over the whole fight, there's a few... There's obviously the rounds later on. 10, Wallin had better, even though he's knocked down that, because I think Delboy was having a breather. 11th, he started well, but then I think Delboy did enough of little spurts to get it back, even it out a bit more. Wallin probably won. But the 12th round, you've got to give, it's 10-8 Chisora. 9th is 10-8. And I think there's maybe one round before that you can give to Wallin. Because the first few it was just Chisora. He was the aggressor. He's the one getting more punches. And he wasn't getting hit that much. It's like you said, when his ears popped, I think then that may have made him even more defensive. But he's only really started getting hit in the latter rounds. It wasn't like he wasn't getting hit that much in the jab, but he was taking the jab to give back, taking a little bit, deflecting a little bit, and giving him powerful overhand right, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I think I give Wallin...
His was the more effective punches.
I think I give Wallin 4 rounds.
10, 11, 5, I think. I think I give him 3.
Yeah.
That's what I said. You can see like 116, 110, 117, 109. If you allow for the knockdowns, basically that's probably the score. 114, 112, I just can't see from any way.
But like you say...
With 2 knockdowns. If there wasn't 2 knockdowns, all right, you could say, yeah. Again, but that's basically saying it's a draw. How?
Judges' opinions, though, isn't it? It's what they're
based
saying.
On what?
If they're seeing the cleaner work from Wallin, because don't forget, Derek's a messy fighter.
But I wouldn't say he was in this fight that much. That's what I mean. He was different.
He was still a messy fighter. If you're going off just scoring shots, I'd say Wallin landed more scoring shots. But I prefer I'm in the camp of, if you land more of them bigger shots, you win the round for me.
Well, if you look at it on like normal speed, yeah, because he throws that thing from nowhere. Yeah. And it's not like a straight right, it's overhand and anything. And like you said, he was taking the jab, but deflecting it. And yeah, some clean jabs as well. But when they slowed it down, they show him the moments where you think, oh, this was quite close. You realise he's dodged most of the shots or taking them on the pads or being like, only grazed. And then he's hitting back full on because you can see Wallin going, ooh. So yeah, I can't see that scorecard, even with your explanation. I don't see that scorecard. I can see the others. I could see like 115, 100. Well, no, I can't even see that. 112. You got to take 2 rounds. There's 2 knockdowns.
But you're the man who only gave Tyson Fury 2 rounds against Usyk, right. So
yeah,
we can't really go off you either.
Yeah, but you only give him 4 rounds. So if you take off 2, your score's basically the same. I gave him 3, so if you knock off 2, so I'm like one judge, you're like the other.
I think I had it 116, 110.
Even the TV guys only had it they gave 4 rounds, I think, as well. Yeah. On TNT anyway.
Some judges though will. I think some judges will not get. It's in Manchester. I mean, Chisora only had to throw a hook and the Manchester crowd was on its feet. I think some judges can completely block that out.
He missed one of the matches and then... Yeah. Although, to be fair, at the beginning, he was very efficient. Yeah. I think he was pacing himself good. It's like you said, when he's got after the 9th, where he's really given everything. And he gave a lot in the 8th as well, isn't it? Where he's getting on top. And then he's had a breather and he's got hit a bit because obviously he slowed down a little bit on his movement. But like the first half was just his, apart from like 1 round. And even that was close.
Yeah, like I say, I don't think Wallin just didn't know how to deal with him, plain and simple. I mean, Wallin put up a great fight, though, to be fair, to stay in with him, because he shipped some punishment, Wallin. But again, so did Chisora. But he ships punishment.
I don't think he took as much as he normally does. If you look at the Joe Joyce fight, he took a lot more than that. I mean, I think he gave Joyce more as well.
Yeah, I mean, Joyce was definitely hitting him harder as well.
Yeah. And in other fights he's had, even with his, he takes a lot more than he did in this.
The punch stats aren't up yet. I haven't got the punch stats.
Yeah, I haven't got them. That's why I was trying to download them.
But it would be interesting to see them. But
try and find them.
No, it's another great night for Chisora, wasn't it? I love that he's just standing in the middle of the ring in his boxies.
What? When he's taking the shot, I was wondering what he was doing here. Then they took the shot off him and then he put it back and he stood there. And
just standing there in his scuds. Love it.
Do you know what I didn't like is when he was getting the mic and he was trying to do it and then they put the guy on to present it. Listen, it's his 49th fight. It's all about him. He's done an epic performance. Just give the mic. I would have just went, look, here's the mic. Carry on, do whatever you want.
Yeah, the problem is I think you're contractually obliged to do them interviews.
Did you understand what the presenter said? Because his mic was turned down. You couldn't hear anything.
I mean, at one point, the presenter, I think, was going to really praise Chisora and started saying something like, "Oh, you know, I've seen you from day one."
Yeah, Chisora, he was saying something like that.
Took the mic off him. I just thought, come on. But it's Delboy, it's
but
chaos.
I think he was trying to thank his first coach, that John Spencer, which he did at the end. But that's why he was trying to get him in, and then he had his the pictures of who he wants to fight next.
Talk Sport. I mean, I had the fight on, but I watched the Watchalong with Talk, and the Talk Sport lads didn't have a clue what was going on. They were just like, but that's Chisora in it. He's chaos. Where does he go next? Wow.
But one of the interesting things I want to bring up is it's I've seen somebody said, isn't it? And they were like, yeah, here's a guy who's lost 13 fights, but he still sells out. He goes, so there's people who are afraid of making him. He goes, the thing is, he's never backed away from a challenge or a match or whatever. He goes, and you've got these other people afraid of making these matches because they don't want to lose the O or whatever, build up the thing. And he goes, he still, irrespective, sells out of the.
I mean, he's lost.
People still want to watch him.
Apart from the Delhi and White fight and the Robert Helenius fight, which are 41, you know, he's lost to David Hay, who at the time was phenomenal. He lost to Vitaly Klitschko, which...
Again, it's Vitaly Klitschko.
Yeah.
This is Hay, Vitaly Klitschko. Helenius, was...
he lost to Joe
Tyson
Parker
Fury.
four times.
Tyson Fury was in his pomp. And then he's lost again to Tyson Fury.
4 times he's lost to Fury.
Yeah. Kubrat Pulev, but again, that was, yes, the scoring was a bit iffy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, probably Pulev. And then Dillian White. Agit Kabayel, but it was a really close fight. But I think that's when Kabayel was fairly young. So...
Chisora, don't forget, when he's fought these people, he's been on the road as well. You know,
Usyk, obviously is Usyk. Yeah. Parker, where he's had a close one, and then Parker became real Parker, and then it was a unanimous. And yeah, so it's not like
he hasn't lost.
He's a good measure of, are you actually world class?
He's going to give you a tough night.
The thing is, he's not a journeyman, because normally on that, would you look at it, he's still a contender, even though he's lost that many fights, because it's more that he's lost. If you work it out, it's like 4 against Fury, isn't it?
Well, no, he's not a journeyman. The way to say, is he a journeyman,
professional?
Is, would you put Moses Atuma in with him right now?
No.
No, you would not. That's why he's not a journeyman. Mate, he's ranked by the IBF now.
Well,
he's the mandatory.
He's the mandatory, isn't he? Yeah.
So...
Well, nobody wanted him to fight Dubois. Did you hear that? They said
do you know what, though? I don't know whether that is because they don't like Dubois.
Yeah.
Not because they don't want him to fight him. I just don't know whether it's because they just don't like him.
Yeah. I think it was more that they don't like.
I
don't think he's as popular.
No, Dubois never going to be either. But where does he go next? I wouldn't look at the AJ fight.
I wouldn't do Usyk and I wouldn't do AJ. I think if...
do you know...
The problem is if Parker beats Thingy, it's Parker likely. I mean, I think they're overlooking that. Dubois is just a closing out fight, but again, I don't see the point in that. Go on, who are you going to say?
Thing is he could wait for the IBF and take it, and it's going to be in Saudi. Look, Derek loves a bit of dollar. He loves it. He wants the biggest payday possible.
Well, yeah, but if you were in his shoes and at his point of career, what do you want to do? You're not going to just do all that thing for nothing. It's a bit of. I mean, I think he loves to fight first and foremost. He's fighting now to get his to pay his bills.
He'll fight Dubois or Parker, no problem. For a world title shot, he'll fight them.
Yeah,
he's going to make a few mil.
What an epic 50th fight that would be.
If not,
he can pull it off.
If not, go and call out Jake Paul.
That's not a bad shout. He's in need of a fight
if
now,
he wants money, go and fight Jake Paul or Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
You want your 50th fight. I wouldn't want it to be against someone like AJ or Usyk.
No.
For the plain and simple reason being is him and AJ are best mates.
Yeah.
And I think AJ takes him out quite easily.
Yeah. And the same with Usyk. And Usyk and him are quite good mates. So.
And Usyk is a lot better than what he was when he first fought Chisora.
Yeah, it's going to be a one-way contest. As good as Chisora is, I think Usyk's at the point where he can deal with...
Against someone like Dubois...
That's a better fight.
Dubois would be heavy favourite because you think he'd steamroll him, but what happens if Dubois gets clipped coming in by Chisora?
We've got a proper fight on our hands.
Parker...
And he is susceptible to those
I think
things.
Parker takes care of Chisora again.
Well, I think Parker's done it before when he wasn't as great. And I think where he is, if he comes off and beats Dubois and he's the champion, I think he'll have that much confidence that he's quite capable of doing it.
Again,
it's a one-way fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't deny him any fight now, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I want it to be his last. To be fair, that could have been his last, and I'd have been happy for it. What a way to go out.
Yeah. Well, I think if he lost, it probably would have been.
The problem I have with him is, say for, let's think mad outside the box, that he fights for an IBF title and wins. He's not going to retire after that.
Yeah. But I think he should.
I know, but he won't.
He won't, yeah.
Because he'll go, all right, let's go for undisputed. And then it's another fight. And then it's a loss and he might go, I don't want to go out on a loss. And then it's another fight. And then he's 43, 44. I think he needs... Look, do your 50th fight. It would be great
if he won, but I think it's stopped. But I think the problem is... With Dubois, I think he's got a chance. Parker, I think less, depending on who wins. Dubois, although to be fair, does have a chance of beating Parker because he's got the power. So it could be fairly simple if he gets hit and Dubois has got pop. So he's got the power to do things. But if he gets caught and he gets into a struggle fight, it's a good fight.
Chisora struggles against boxers.
Yeah.
He does. Usyk.
AJ's got enough boxing skill to sort it out.
Chisora fight was close, but I think Usyk took it easy that night.
I think Usyk took it. I think it was Usyk was acclimatising, and I think he took it easy. He likes Derek. So
look how easily Fury dealt with him.
Yeah.
All right, Parker, when he boxed Chisora, he boxed his head off.
Yeah. The first one was close, but the second one was...
So that's why I think maybe...
While scorecards were close, I think it was like far wider.
But I wouldn't begrudge him any fight, to be fair. But I'd stay away from AJ. I'd stay away from Dillian White.
I think the better one would be somebody like a Jake Paul or a Ngannou or somebody like that. If the money's right, that'd be a good way to close it out.
And Ngannou fight in Africa would be good. Yeah. Or I was going to say Zhang, but he's fighting Caballero.
I think something like
Zhang
that.
Could have kittens against Chisora,
Zhang Chisora would be a good fight. I think he'd probably deal a bit better than Thingy, but we do know Zhang gasses.
That's what I mean.
So if it gets to about 6 rounds, then you could see it turn, and that way you can...
That's what I mean.
6, 7 rounds, and then I think Chisora's got the chance. Yeah, Zhang does have the pop to get him out of there before then. But
we'll see.
If he's wily enough to get to that range, then it becomes very interesting, doesn't it?
Thing is he's put himself up in the
he's in contention again. Isn't
Yeah.
he? So it's a contender. Like I said,
Weirdly,
seasoned professional.
he could get a world title shot.
Yeah,
Well, he's going to. He's mandatory.
it's mandatory.
So, and would you bet against him getting his mandatory shot? Because he's relentless in the ring. I
Well,
bet you
well, I
he's
think
relentless outside the ring.
Yeah, well, I think everybody likes him as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they want, like Frank Warren, isn't it? We'll get him what we can do. He goes, but he's there for Dubois because he's the champion, he's the mandatory. So, and the thing is, it's box office enough that anybody's want to do because, like, you see that they're singing the name, chanting the name. It was brilliant. It was a brilliant performance. Yeah, it's unexpected. He was better than not better in what you expect, but better that his boxing skill was better than what I expected for where he normally fights.
No,
Yeah.
I love him. He's great.
We haven't said about Wallin, but I think we'll leave that. I don't really much to say at this point. We see what he does next. It was disappointing from his point of view performance, but he couldn't deal with him. That's it, basically.
Certainly couldn't. So well done, Mr. Chisora.
So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think, who you would like to see him fight next. How would you like it to be his last fight? I mean, obviously nobody wants him to see he's entertaining enough, or you don't. But I think at the age he is, and where he is in his career, I think it'd be nice to retire.
Yeah, I think he knows he's coming to the end, though.
Yeah. So I think it would be nice to see him go out. So yeah, let us know your thoughts on that. And yeah, like, subscribe, click the notification bell so you know when other videos are coming out. And yeah, we will be there for whatever it is. We will try and bring you that video and whatever his 50th is, if it gets there. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.